We're live, dude.
What's up?
What's up, man?
I don't know, but what technical difficulties we had today. First time ever I've done Facebook Live in an office, not my phone. So, I guess it's, I blame myself because you've done this.
I'll take blame here, Lonnie. Lonnie, you're the expert. I'm the tech guy. I should have prepped you better and had this figured out.
We got it. Yeah. It took us 35 minutes, but we got it. The countdown in the future might not be good for anything.
All right. Well, why don't you tell everyone why we're going live anyway today, so that they can actually get some value from all the time they spent waiting for us, and obviously this video is going to live on forever. So let's give them some really good information. So what are we going to learn?
Well, one thing that we want to do is we've done our blogs in the past, we've done our video blogs in the past, and we want to start doing more video, more Facebook Live stuff, just sharing with the community, sharing with the folks on Facebook some of the things that we learn through the history of our real estate business, some of the things that are going on in the marketplace. And we just want to make sure that we can, kind of give that information to the consumers, maybe future clients, friends. And one of the things we want to talk about today is 8 things that sabotage your home when you're listing it. Because so many people, they listen to the wrong people sometimes, or they don't listen to the right people. And we want to talk about some of the things that happen through the transition of putting the house on the market, what you need to do in order to make sure that you get top dollar and you sell your home in the fastest time for the most money. It's important that we do that.
Yeah, so there's 8 different things that someone can do to really mess this up, right?
There's really about 80 different, no, there's probably thousands of things they can do to mess it up. But these are pretty important ones.
The top ones. These are the top 8. Yeah.
So we're going to start with number 8, which is probably one of the bigger ones, which is ego. Sellers tend to, I'll say for myself, even when I've sold houses in the past, sometimes I have to get my ego in check and make sure that I understand, listen, this is no longer a home, it's now a house. And it's important for us to make sure that we can separate our egos so that we can get the most money, because what happens is we start thinking too much about, hey, this is my house. My house is the best house on the street. My house is the best house on my street. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're not thinking with your heart and not with your mind, because so often we do, me included. So I put myself in that category. And when you're getting offers on your house or when you're pricing it, these are things that you have to talk with your agent about and make sure that you're not, making the wrong choices based on your heart, based on your ego. Getting a lowball offer, for instance, that tends to happen in this market. We know that most buyers, when they write an offer in the last 10 years, they're always going to come in a little low, right? Unless your house is brand new on the market, just came on, you might get 30 days before they tend to do that. But at that rate, you got to be careful, because if you get a lowball offer, you just throw your hands up and say, I don't even want to deal with it. Well, that's getting your ego in the way. Try to make it a win-win for you, the seller, and for the buyer.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I can completely understand that, being on the flip side of, you always look, it's a bias, right? You're always looking at your property as probably the best one, and then you're going to want more for it, right? When really you got to be realistic. So go. Sure. All right. So that's number 8. What's number 7? Let's go.
Number 7 is hidden problems that might come up, for buyers. For instance, you got a leaky faucet underneath or you got a leaky sink underneath. These are things you should tell your agent and get these things fixed, get them addressed, so that you're not surprising the buyer come time to do a home inspection. Because the biggest thing is, you never want the buyer to feel like, man, are they hiding something from me? Or is the agent hiding something from me? I would not necessarily always do a home inspection, but sometimes do a home inspection before you even list it. Get all these things addressed, all these little things, because some of these little things, if they're found by the buyer during maybe them viewing the property, sometimes this looks like the seller's hiding something, and that's what you don't want to do. You want the buyer to feel like, man, this could be my casa. You know what I mean? And this is something that, it's in great shape, it's in great condition. Things that maybe aren't in great condition, the seller, may want to mention in the listing. Some things that might need to be repaired, that's obvious. Or you could sell it as is if you're a seller and say, look, we're selling it as is, buyer beware. which we are a buyer beware state. So at the end of the day, that's something you can do. But I definitely think that the hidden problems, you want to make sure you address those.
God, yeah. So address those first, right? Address those first.
Absolutely, yeah. I would. And then obviously number 6 would be ignoring the backyard. We always talk about the front yard and how, we want to make sure when people drive up, it looks great. The door looks great. It's manicured. But a lot of people forget about the backyard, right? So let's not forget about the backyard, because when somebody goes out back, that's where they're looking at having their barbecues, their evening barbecues, their family gatherings. You want to make sure the backyard looks great as well. So we talk about that a lot. So number 5 would be keeping all your clutter and junk, getting rid, clearing out, right? We talk about simplifying. I tell sellers all the time, let's simplify things. Let's minimize what's going on around here, because the one thing you do when you have a lot of clutter around the house is you don't give the buyer the opportunity to really absorb what this is going to look like when they move in. It looks like you, right? You want to simplify things. You want to keep things very generic. We tell people, look, get a storage unit, move your stuff, get your stuff out of the way, right? So that's important to us. And then number 4 would be refusing to make obvious repairs to your home sale. So many people, they might say, well, I'm not fixing that, or I'm not fixing this. Well, at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, every buyer is going to probably ask for the things that you're talking about, right? Repairing. So make sure you do those things because they need to be done, right? If you're buying a house, you're going to want certain repairs made, unless you're getting a discount on the property. Maybe you can make some adjustments. But at the end of the day, we always tell people, make those repairs. It's definitely something that you want to make sure you do. Number 3 is, this is a big one I think that a lot of people don't think about as much, is lousy photos. You don't want to have lousy photos, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, how is that still happening? Like,
it does.
Dude, it blows my mind. Like, I mean, I don't know. All right. Anyway.
Listen, we hear from people all the time saying that, agents come out to their house with an iPhone or a Droid and they're taking photos. We use a high definition camera, as well as we have what you call Matterport, which does 3D imaging on all of our properties. So these are things that really kind of set us above everybody else, but we understand the importance of making sure you have great pictures. 90% of home buyers start their search on the internet. So it's very important that you have that first great impression, right? Number 2, which could also probably be number 1, in my opinion, is mispricing your home, right? I can do all the marketing in the world, and we have one of the best marketing teams in all of Hampton Roads. We spend thousands of dollars every month to make sure that we put our properties out there and get them maximum exposure. But you know what? None of that matters if the house isn't priced right. You know what I mean? Because if it's overpriced, it's just going to hurt you long term. And we tell sellers that the longer your home stays on the market, the less desirable it becomes, right? So you're on the market 3-4 months. The only offers you're going to be getting are low offers. Then you have to be dealing with those low offers, and you're going to tend more likely than not to get far less for your property, right? So it's important that people understand mispricing your home is a no-no, okay? And then number 1 is selling for sale by owner. So many people sell their house for sale by owner. 8%, I think, is the National Association of Realtors, I think, is the average percentage of folks that sell or self. And it's important to understand that you're not getting that maximum exposure when you do that. You're minimizing your opportunity to get qualified buyers, right? And, 2 years ago, I think it was about $35,000 was the gross difference from listing on your own to listing with a real estate agent, right? And then obviously we have the value to be able to negotiate on the best behalf of you and make sure that we do all the things necessary to get you the highest qualified buyer, right, in the shortest amount of time and netting you the most money. And that's why it's important. And it's important to list with an agent, not list for yourself.
Okay, so Lonnie,
we went through them quick because we had 30 minutes of delay, but
I want to ask you a couple questions because we do have some viewers. And viewers, if you have questions or comments, just put them below. We'll see them and then we'll respond to them. But Lonnie, I think the last 2 that you went over are key, because if someone's selling their home on their own and then they price it wrong, next thing you know, it's been on the market too long. And I know, as being someone that understands real estate, if I'm looking at homes and it's been on the market for 3-4 months, I'm thinking, what's wrong with this property? why is this property not selling? What did they do? Either they overprice it or some issue with it. That's what's going on in my mind. So like, talk to me a little bit more about how you see that happen a lot, and what and going through again some of these things to make sure that doesn't happen for the people that you're working with, the sellers that you're working with.
Well, what's interesting, Scott, is for sale by owner, like you said, having it on the market longer, it's the same thing with listing with an agent, having it on the market and not making adjustments, because your property creates this negative history around it, right? So I always tell sellers, imagine yourself going to a house and you know that house has been on the market for 6 months, and then it was with another agent for 6 months. What kind of offer are you going to put in on that house, right? You either think that they're not motivated to sell, they can't sell, right? Or they're unrealistic. So with those three things, you're going to come in with either a low offer, or you're not even going to present an offer, or you're not even going to go to the house. You're not even going to preview it, because they're so far out of the ballpark, and they've created this negative stigma about the property. You're going to run from it. So we tell our sellers, listen, in order to get you the most money, you also want your home to sell in a very reasonable time frame, because the longer it's on the market, the less desirable it is.
Yeah. So Lonnie, if someone is, either considering selling on their own or considering using another agent or whatever the situation is, but they are in the process of maybe putting their home on the market in the next few months, what's the best first step for them to take if they want to, connect with you and consider, working with you and your team?
Well, they can call us at 757-217-9971, or they can go to our website at lonniebush.com. On the front page of our homepage, you can actually find out what your home value is. It's a little broad, right? So we sometimes need to tweak that, but we can give them an idea of what a few of our counterparts are suggesting their home value be. So we would tell them to do that. You can go on there, register, and then we can give you a buzz and set up a time to maybe come out, check out the house, and see what we can do for you.
Awesome. Any final words for your viewers before we cut out?
No, just that we got through the technical difficulties, right? Had to go to another computer, but I'm learning a little bit about Facebook Live on my desktop. But I thank you, Scott Solari, who is with Viral Marketing, one of the top marketing companies for real estate professionals in the country. We didn't even introduce you, Scott.
No, it's all right. We're here for you and your database and the people that are in your community, because we're going to keep doing these, right, Lonnie? We're going to keep doing these videos and staying in touch with people, letting them know not only about real estate, but about what's going on locally, like how they can get involved in all the connections that you have. I mean, you have so many partners and vendors that you are going to eventually bring into the fold, and it's just going to be lots of valuable information for all the people that are paying attention,
Right. Well, thank you, sir. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.